Alright, I made a tweet. The tweet says, what is the best AQW armor in your opinion? I got about 50 replies on that. Thank you to everyone that replied. I will be going through each of these, showing you the wiki pages. I had to use Google Lens for a lot of these because people didn't put the name of them, which they don't have to. But anyway, that wasn't part of the question. But I found them all. I got them all. I'm going to show you them all. Maybe this gives you ideas for armors you would like to get or stuff like that. And I'm also going to rate them in a tier list as we go on. So every time we look at one, I'll put that in a tier list. We'll give it a quick rating. Let's get into it. And if you like this video, hit the like button. If it gets a lot of likes and stuff, I'll make another one. I also asked the YouTube community page, got a bunch of replies on that. So we could do this again with different armors from there. I would try not to get any duplicates in the next one if we do this again. But yeah, so let me know if you like it. Let's go. Of course, this list where you're seeing the armors are in no particular order of how good I think they are or anything, but they're just random. So Doom Naval, or I call it Doom Naval, Doom Knight Naval, but it's Doom Knight Naval. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I always get the name of this naval wrong. I think it's like Sepulchre Naval or something like that, but I think that's a different naval. Anyway, this one's pretty good. Classic naval back when they only released like 1 or 2 a year, a few a year at most, like 3 at most. So for this armor on the tier list, I'm going to say it is a solid A. I used to like this armor more, but it hasn't aged so well, and it's still a classic, but it's not quite S tier. I think as time has gone on, my opinion's kind of changed more towards negative on it, but it's still a great armor. All right, next one we have is Dage the Good, another rare one. Sadly, there will be some non-rare armors in this video, so yeah, but a lot of them are going to be IODAs if you want to get these, because you know a lot of the good stuff in AQW is rare, sadly. So Dage the Good, this really doesn't look that great unless you have the whole set with it, like the cape and the helmet and everything. It really makes the whole outfit, and altogether it's an S. Just the armor by itself, though, I'm going to have to put that in the B tier by itself. I think with the whole kit, it's S, but I think by just yeah, I don't know, something about it, the blue, I don't know. It's going into B, but still a solid armor. All right, next up, this is actually pretty cool. I kind of forgot this armor even existed in the game. It's a hero points item, so you can go get this right now. It's not rare. It's available in hero map. Cool looking dress on the female one, and male one. This one's pretty decent looking armor. I like the cyber leg thing it's got going on. Very unique, very nice. I'm gonna throw this one in the A tier as well. Not exactly S. I think it's not as good as this one, but so I think we'll do them by best being at the left there, and then worst at the right. And then I think a lot of these armors are going to tend to be like B or higher, I'd imagine, because I did ask for the best, but maybe I know there's at least one. I went through it. I already got the links for everything. There's at least one that's going to be D tier at least. Hey, speaking of which, Executioner of the Gods is one of the armors people recommended. And sorry if your recommendation gets really lowly ranked. I don't know. It's my opinion. Your opinion can be completely different. I respect that. But this armor is a floating armor. So automatically, it's like a low tier armor just by default. You could have the best looking armor in the game. And if it floats and you do that weird like tilting animation when you walk, that is automatically terrible. But anyway, I mean, it's full CC. At least it looks full CC. So not the worst, but there's not. It looks like you look like you're just a moving fridge made out of cloth. Unsurprisingly, this is going into D tier as the first entry. Yeah. Next armor was Vampire of Nulgath. Actually, cool looking plate armor. Not gonna lie, there's no female variant of it, but hey, it's a rare item. Was part of the war back in the day. Dage vs Nulgath, classic. Some of the best armors and items in the game came from that era. So yeah, of course, this one's looking great. Meltonius art, love to see it. Now, as far as on the actual tier list for this one, this is going into high B tier. Don't exactly think it's A. My personal preference, you're probably going to see a lot of the, you'll probably see a trend with plate and cloth armor. In every RPG, I've always played light armor, cloth armor. It's just, I don't know, I always prefer it. Anyway, but yeah, this definitely great looking armor though. B tier's not that bad. Next one up is Nation Vampire. This one is a 0 AC armor. I think I have this actually. It's from a collection chest era already. So this isn't too bad. It's like a recolor, retread of a bunch of old like Legion Vampire. I definitely prefer original Legion Vampire to this armor. I don't think I'd ever personally wear this one, especially because I don't like the female variant of it that much. But I could definitely see why people do like it, and it does match with a lot of items in the game. For the actual tier list, this is going to go in the lower B side on here. I don't think it's terrible armor, and not a great one, but yeah, it definitely loses points. I think if it was original in a world where the other vampire armors didn't exist, I think it'd be a lot higher. But yeah, that's my point of view on that. Another naval already. This is back in the era where they only released a few, so it's got a lot more care and devotion to it. Seems like they just spam out navals these days. Hopefully that changes, we'll see. But this one is a pretty old naval from the 25th shop there for Quibble. Yeah, this one definitely, for me, not a high tier naval. I do think it looks decent, but I'm going to put it in like high B. I don't think it makes it into A. I think this naval looks a lot better, but I do know why people like it, and it does look good, and there's definitely a lot of really cool combinations with the other chrono items in the game you can make for sets and stuff. So really decent armor, but not that high tier. Okay, next up, I don't know, what was the question I asked? What is the best armor in your opinion? Okay, so maybe they took this like literally by like skill, like the stats it gives you, because this one, when equipped, gives you 50% class points, reputation, 30% the gold, battling monsters, and 50% more damage to tagged enemies. So that's probably why they put this in here. But we're going off the visuals of these items. So this one is going to easily make its way into the D tier. The art on this just looks like it's melting. It looks weird. It doesn't look like metal. It looks off to me. I don't think it's as bad as this one though. So, dude, it's not a god awful like this one is, but it's not the best either. Okay, I might have a really hot take here because this one actually got recommended twice in the comment section. It's one of the only duplicates that people like put more than once in the replies for the tweet. So this is Blood of Nulgath, an absolute classic and a great looking armor itself. My hot take comes in with, I actually think Evolved looks a lot better. So Evolved is kind of just like a polished, shinier version of it. One of the rare times where I think adding more detail to an AQ Worlds armor actually makes it look better. I usually hold the opinion where simpler is better, but the shiny metal, red metal just looks pristine on this. It looks really nice, but I will rate the normal Blood one. Evolved did not get recommended. All right, in my opinion, Blood here is a lower A tier. I think the Evolved one would be high A, and that is my opinion on that. I'm not a massive fan of the like Nulgath look of items like wrapped in, I don't know what the exact look is, but I'm not a massive fan, but it does look good in certain situations, certain sets, and certain weapons equipped on them. Definitely not a hater of it, but I'm not the biggest fan either. So I think A is a good place for it. Okay, next up is Dragon Emperor armor. Now, I feel like the wiki did this dirty with the CC. Now, it's the wiki's job to just show that it is color custom, right? But they picked some horrible colors here. I think if you made this a nice set of like colors that actually go well together, this would look pretty good, to be honest. Yeah, so they just picked like the most bright, obnoxious colors for this. There, you can see what is all CC here, a bunch of stuff on it, most of it. This armor goes in the B tier for me. I think it looks good. Shoulders are a little bit too large, I think, but some people might like that, so yeah, that's where it'll go. Being full CC is nice. Lion's Bane was someone's favorite, so throw this in here. I do like the look of it. It's nice. You can kind of see through the armor a bit, like to the, yeah, it's got a cool look. It's a really well made piece of armor. It fits in with the story well as well in the fire. This is, yeah, the Firestorm map. I remember even what map this is in, like the Lava Run, Firestorm. You can remember that just by looking at it. It's really thematically correct for the actual story back when they used to do that more often. So yeah, really nice piece of armor. I feel like I'm throwing a lot of stuff in the B tier right now, but that's the middle of the road, so it's probably where a lot of stuff will go. To be honest, you'll definitely have outliers. I like this armor more than that one. maybe not as much as this one. This is probably going to get a little messed up as we keep going. I'm not going to reorganize it every time, but yeah, so somewhere around there is where I'd probably write it in the middle of B. Next armor is Luck Champions. Yeah, this one's alright. Not massive fan. A female variant, the like dress coat combo looks a little off to me. And yeah, but it's not the worst. Boot's kind of cool in the male one. This one is going to be the first entry into C tier. Not a massive fan of it, to be honest. Just something about it feels off to me. So yeah, first entry for the C tier there. I'm glad someone submitted this. Blood Ninja, one of my favorite armors when I first started playing the game way back when. Great armor, absolutely classic for the game. This is going in S just for nostalgia purposes mostly, but yeah, it belongs there for being such a good armor so early. And yeah, I imagine most people that are watching this video have probably equipped it on their character at one point in time, and you can't say that about most of these other armors. Okay, Blade Master, this one, another rare. So, yeah, this one, I kind of wish they did a human variant of this armor. I know there are human Blade Masters in the game, like, but this particular armor, I wish it had a human form. Not too big of like a fan of the undead on it. And for that reason, people might not like me for this, but this is going into higher C tier for me. I'd never use this armor, but it does have a cool look to it. Next up is Legacy of Nulgath, another classic armor. A lot of people have this, one of the highest IODA'd armors in the game on the list of items that get IODA'd. So not too bad. The CC on here is not the greatest. If you make it look like the Nulgath colors, it looks really nice. If you black it out, it looks really nice. Right here, they kind of do it dirty with the colors here, the Christmas colors, but yeah, it was only 30 diamonds back in the day. Now it costs you 100 USD for IODA. Crazy how things get inflated in price. Okay, so this on the list, to me, this is definitely an A tier armor. I don't have it personally on my account. I've kind of thought about IODAing it at some point. I don't think I will because I don't think I'd use it that often, but it is a good looking armor. I think it belongs up here, probably right next to that one's. Nice. Let's go. First Kotaro armor on this video. So this is Delinquent of Crysis. There's a bunch of Crysis stuff that came out around this time that all looks great, by the way. So look into that. Look into this feature gear shop and stuff if you're looking for ideas. Female variant actually looks completely different. It's got like a short skirt and like a cardigan type deal. Bow. Yeah, very different from the male. I kind of wish the female one looked more like the male one on this one, to me. And someone just subscribed while I was recording. Hey, hit the subscribe button if you're watching this video right now, like this guy. Thank you, Kong. Anyway, great armor. It's got CC on it. Let's throw that into the tier list. For me, this is an A armor. Yeah, I like casual stuff. I like Kotaro stuff quite a bit. That's my bias, and I'm going to keep that bias. So this is definitely going up into A. I don't know particular where in this order it would go, but I might reorganize this later on in the video, but for now, I'm just gonna throw it there. Next up, of course, this is the top #1 IODA'd Naval Commander in the game, and also armor in the game. So it holds two of those, both of those ratings, which is something, you know. It's not personally my favorite Naval Commander like it is for many other people, considering how high of an IODA stat it has, but it's still a very solid armor. I love blue, if you can tell by my channel logo. So great color and everything like that. So definitely high tier armor. I see Naval Commander. People are kind of like over navals these days, it seems, but they've been kind of holding up the game for years. And this is definitely S tier in my opinion. As far as this game, imagine how much money this made Artix Entertainment in IODAs since its release. Just think of that. That's probably a really high number. It's probably in the tens of thousands, if not more. Speaking of money, here's a really expensive armor. People have bought this for close to 500, if not more, dollars on the used market. I say used market, I mean like the people that resell codes. This should be returning. You know, they said Card Clasher was returning, I think years ago at this point, and it never did. So that's interesting. I actually bought it last time they refreshed, so I don't have the original like pyramid looking. I don't know what kind of shape it was, but I don't have that one. I have like the square box from the reprints they did like quite a few years back now, but hopefully this comes back out. Really solid armor, good cosmetic. Hopefully they buff the class when they re-release it sometime soon. I actually made a tweet like kind of suggesting that they buff the class, and it got liked by Alina, so they know people want the class buffed. Anyway, as far as the visual armor goes for this, let's give it a rating. Also, absolute sin that there isn't a hat for this. Imagine how cool a Card Clasher hat would go. Easily S tier, high S tier, easily. That's, didn't even have to think about that for a second. Card Clasher is definitely one of the best armors in the game. And I feel like that's not even the rarity or anything about it talking. Let me know where you would rate Card Clasher in the comment section, because some people might rate it lower, but I really do think it is like an S. I probably put an S plus if we had an S plus on this list. It's that good, like really solid, really good design. One thing I really don't like is the CC bag. I kind of wish that was just the same as the rest of the thing, but that's a little nitpicky. Next is Shadow Flame Dragon Slayer. So this one is rare as well. And I actually like the female variant of this more. I wonder why. But the male version also looks cool. So yeah, don't see this very often. The guy that recommended it had a pretty cool set equipped with it. So if you check that tweet thread on my Twitter there, if you want to see that, it's got kind of a built-in flame behind it. I don't know if that's a positive or a negative. I do like the glowing horn thing on the shoulder. That's pretty nice. Also really cool, kind of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder armor. What do you call it? Gauntlet. That's the name of that thing. So that's actually got a really sick design with the red spikes and everything. That looks really clean. Pretty clean metal plate armor. Don't see people using this armor very often, and I'm going to definitely throw that into the lower A tier. So yeah, definitely great armor. One of the highest plate armors on this list so far. Yeah, really nice. I wish I saw more people using it, to be honest. I think this one got thrown in as a joke, based on the tweet, but hey, it's a funny looking armor, and I never see anyone wearing it. The Fiending armor, I think it's based off the Fantastic Four, a parody of the Thing from Fantastic Four, like the wiki says here, of course. So yeah, kind of a funny armor, seeing the female variant of it. Damn, those might be those. I remember that one armor that Lay made that had like the big thighs, and then they made him nerf them when they put it in the game. This one didn't get nerfed, it seems. Which is weird, because I think if they had larger thigh armors, they would probably sell really well. I'm just saying. I mean, it would be a thing. Anyway, this is that's a low. I think it's cool because it's from the Fantastic Four, DC reference. I could definitely see people making funny sets with it. Putting it low C. Next armor is Zio Go. So this one, I think it's for the female variant. I don't know. The male variant actually looks pretty clean, to be honest, as well. If you're going for like a mage look, that's actually good. But I think the female variant is probably why it's on this list. So it's a pretty solid armor. Kind of aged at this point, in my opinion. I think there are better armors that look in the same category these days than this one. But it's not too bad. It's still holding up a bit, and I would definitely throw this like about right here in the B tier. I think that's about where it belongs. It's not the worst armor, not the best armor. I could definitely see you making some good sets with it. Enchanted Armor of Awe. A lot of plate armors today. Really nice. Appreciate seeing those, to be honest. Armor of Awe is definitely one of the better looking plate armors in the game. It's not my favorite version of it. Enchanted, I think they have made different variants of it, like the pink one and stuff like that. So there is quite a few different ones, like this one, the Armor of Awe. Of course. So actually, I don't know if this one looks better than the other one, but like, yeah. Anyway, let's throw this on the board. I actually think it's kind of the word I would use to describe this is kind of like boring. I don't know. It's kind of a boring design. It's not a bad design. Probably put it above this armor, maybe like right in there. Yeah, it's not the best, not the worst. It looks very like generic fantasy armor thing, right? Like it's good, but generic. Elemental Summoner. Oh, this is an armor you don't see every day equipped. I really like the female variant of this. I think it looks better than the male one, in my opinion. Like I like the metal around the neck looks nice. The fabric on the kind of cape that's built into it. Looks really nice as well that you don't get in the male one. So the female variant looks better, so that's what I'll rate this on. And this one for me would definitely also be in the B tier. It's not, definitely doesn't belong in C. I think A is pushing it a little bit, but it would be higher B for me. Maybe higher than that even. I do like this quite a bit, so throw it in the B tier there. So for this one, I got kind of confused because if you search Valen armor, first thing pops up is like a temporary armor, and they might have meant the temporary one from the quest. I don't know, but this one's the other one that pops up, so rate off this one. Female one's not too bad, but I think they mean the male one, so let's rate that. This is C tier for me. It's a generic plate armor, and color scheme's not too bad. The shoulder looks really ugly in my opinion, but it's not that bad to be in the D. So I think it's probably that's probably how I'd organize that. It's not higher C, but I'm really not feeling it. Next up, absolute classic. Legion Jolly Roger. Such a good armor. This is the kind of armor I want to see for pirates. This isn't a naval, but it's just a great pirate armor, kind of loosely based off of the naval look, which makes it even better, to be honest. It's such a good translation of that, and kind of where I think the naval should have evolved in this direction. I like the female variant more, although I do think the male variant also looks really good, but we'll be rating it off the female one here. And for me, this is an S tier armor, and always will be. I'm going to put it on the lower side of S for now, but I think it'll probably end up in the middle if we did like every armor in the game in this video, which we're not. We only have a few more to go, but it would probably be somewhere in the middle of S tier in my opinion. And if there was S plus on the board, it would be lower S plus. In sort of the same vein as the last armor, we have the Darkcaster armor. So this is the class, but of course there's also an armor that goes with it as well. So this one, it's okay. It's okay. I think people like this more than I do, though. A lot of time that I see about this on the internet, the head always looked weird to me on the male one. The female one, it's not that off, but the neck's really cool in here, even though it's not really connected to anything, which kind of looks odd. It's kind of a mess of an armor if you really take time to look at it, but it's a cool looking mess. And that for me is going to go into upper A right here in between these two for now. So I think it's a solid place for it to be. Flashbang. I don't know why this one is in dark mode. All the other pages are, but anyway, so you're welcome for having most of the video be dark mode for you. Anyway, we're going back to dark mode immediately. I don't know why this page is. Anyway, so this is maybe they picked this one for stats as well, since it does more damage to undead monsters and human monsters. It might have been a stat pick like the other one. It's more recent outfit, and it's not that bad. I do think the sword being equipped on is a little cheesy in my opinion. I kind of wish you could like kind of pose your swords and have different running animations and stuff in the game. I think that would be cool to do that, but having it built in the armor like that I think would get old really quick. It is unique though, and definitely not the worst. I'm gonna put that into low B tier there. Grunge Z, one of the ones from the concerts that they did in game. Very cool. Nice rare to have. Really like the look of it. Male and female both look pretty decent, although I do prefer the female one on this one. Of course, the tall boots are not my favorite, but they do fit in with the theme quite a bit. So this one for me is an A tier armor. Probably above these. Probably a great here, to be honest. I really like it. I'm a big fan of casual stuff in the game though, so that's always going to tend to be a bit higher. Some people might rate that lower, but I do like that armor. Voidcaster, back when they did cool and unique packages. I'm not a fan of the new upgrade packages they've been doing recently. They're very samey every time now. This is back when they actually did cool packages. There's tier 1 and 2 back in the day. You had to get the tier 2, you had to buy 12k AC or 12-month membership. And they did that every month, by the way, back. It's so weird. So some people, because of that, wanted to get these big packs, and they have years. Like some people have membership like into like 2030 or longer because they used to have to buy 12 months of membership every month if you wanted the high tier package, which was really lame. I'm glad they got rid of that. But anyway, enough ranting about that. We're talking about the actual armor here. I do think this looks cool. Not a huge fan of the foot on it. That's always thrown me off a bit. And the actual like void thing. I think if they had a human variant of this, it would be rated higher for me. And for that reason, it's going to go into low A tier right here. So that's the spot. Grim Lord of Nulgath. I actually IODA'd the cloak that came with this. Such a great outfit, fully CC. Also, you recognize it's from the Evil War back in the day. So many good items came out of that. Man, oh man. Such a shame we didn't get another one of those, like with Kotaro and different artists, like Kotaro vs. Lay or something would have been great when Kotaro was still around. But anyway, no need to think about that. This armor goes into the S tier, in my opinion. If you're going for a big bulky armor, this is one of the best in my opinion. So definitely an S tier. Next is Black Skull's armor. So this one's really great. Rare made this. It's really nice looking. Definitely got a Halloween vibe to it. Female variant definitely better than male. The combat boots and everything on it. Very nice touches. All the accessories and stuff that went with this look really nice as well. So, and the neck, what do we call that? The why can't I think of it? Anyway, really nice outfit. Got dog tags and everything to go with the theme. Solid A tier. Don't even have to think about it. Definitely around that area for A tier. Maybe a bit higher, but I think I'll throw it about right there for now. So great armor there. Of course, Darkcaster X made it on to this video. So great armor. Male version actually looks better than female for this one, in my opinion. And it has an old and an older on the wiki, which is funny. Old and older. Not exactly sure what changed, but they did update it a few times, which they don't really do these days too often. So throw this on the list here. I definitely think this is low S tier. One of my favorite Darkcasters in the game. Really like it. The whole like back part kind of cape thing behind it looks really nice. The skull on the shoulder is great. Whole theming of it is very well put together. Definitely high tier armor in my opinion. All right, next up, Shadow Slayer. Actually not made by the artist named Shadow Slayer K that we have these days. This is Miltoni's art, if you couldn't tell by looking at it. But yeah, maybe Shadow Slayer got their name from this art. Who knows? I definitely think we're going off the female version here from the recommendation. And I'm going to be honest, the female version of this, we've had many recolors to the point where there is a list of Shadow Slayers on the wiki here. The list isn't that long, but this is definitely a top B for me, upper B for me for this armor. It's as time has gone on, I've kind of disliked this armor more and more the more recolors of it I see. I'm being completely honest, but it's still a pretty great armor. Next up, someone suggested this, and I have to agree. It's a shame the hood never got made for this armor, and it's weird that they don't, like, sometimes when there's references to things, people will, the wiki staff will put it here, but they didn't put it here for this. It's, of course, based on Gargura's armor, a very famous VTuber, I think one of the largest VTubers. Anyway, this is actually an armor you can get. It'll be available in October, which is only a few months from when I'm uploading this video, so hey, maybe bookmark this somewhere, put it on your list. It's called Boo Hoodie. There, great stuff. It does cost 808 or 908 Cs, and it's seasonal, so kind of pricey for an armor, but really good looking armor. Booba. So actually I have that on my soundboard. This armor will be a solid. I like this armor a lot. I like the characters based off a lot. I'm putting it at top of A, right there. My personal feelings towards the armor and the characters based off probably affect that a lot. I do think it's great. Really happy that Kotaro made that. One of, if not the best Black Friday armor that was exclusively made for Black Friday, not a recolor, Shadow Slayer. So yeah, this is such a good armor. Insane. I love it so much. It's just such a good theme. The female variant looks slightly better to me than the male one, but absolute peak. Easily an S tier, easily. I'm putting it slightly behind Card Clasher. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I love it a lot though. It's pretty much on the same even with Card Clasher, if not. it definitely belongs in S. It would be an S++ if that was the thing. Legion Vampire, classic at this point. I really like this. I've actually commissioned art of this armor. I like it so much, and usually when I commission art of armor, I really like it. So this is definitely a great armor piece. This might be a hot take. I actually think the Black Friday recolor of this armor looks better than the original. The Obsidian Legion Vampire is the one I'm talking about. I actually think this one looks better than the original with the just clean black and white color scheme. Very nice, great armor. To me, this is easily an S tier. I'm gonna actually put it above Darkcaster X. Yeah, probably above this one as well. Just 'cause plate armor I'm not a peak fan of. I don't know if it's better than Jolly Roger, but I think right next to it's a good spot to be. It does look kind of similar to Jolly Roger in some ways. So right up there is probably where that belongs. It's definitely a great armor. Here's the art of it that I got commissioned, by the way. Fun fact, this artist is insanely talented, and they charge about $400 or $500 per piece of art now. And I did not pay anywhere near that, so great artist. I wanted to throw out the artist's name here, but they're not on Fiverr anymore where I commissioned them. And I remember their username, but I can't find them. They didn't have social media at the time. I told them to make a social media to promote their art, but at the time, but anyway, they're gone. So maybe they just stopped doing art, but kind of sad. Next armor is Frost Lorn. This one, pretty cool looking plate. I actually like the female more than the male. The male is massive compared to the female. Okay, cool scar on the face, nice. So cool ice armor there. This one definitely belongs in the B tier in my opinion. Right there, I would say. So it's pretty cool looking plate armor. As far as plate armors go, definitely throw it about right there. AFDL, in my opinion, one of the best looking plate armors in the game as well. And the accessories that go with this are really good. Furrow did a great job. Maybe one of my favorite Furrow armors ever. Yeah, so Archfiend Doom Lord here. For me, this is going to go in A tier right around here. Plate armors have a hard time for me to make it higher, so this is really high for any plate armor, but yeah, it looks good. All right, we're done with the tier list, but there were a few other suggestions that were left on there. So let me know what you think of the tier list. It's the finished up version of it. Will you change anything about this? And if you, like I said at the beginning of the video, if you'd like to see more of these kind of videos, I'm down to make more of them. They take a lot of time to make, but hey, let me know. I could make some more of these. And yes, so someone left a suggestion saying they thought this is their favorite armor. I think they're more of a hyped for it because it doesn't exist in the game. Just so you know, no one has this armor, but only one person. And mods, of course, who can duplicate an AQW, and by far, this would be the best. I don't think that's the case. I mean, it's not terrible armor, but I don't think this would be the best. I think he's kind of hyped up that only one person has it. But yeah, call it Fallen Warlord. I think there's a blue version of this in the game that you can get or something like that. Okay, I tried to look up this armor. I know this armor does exist in the game, right? But this guy did not use the right name for it at all. Obsidian Classic Paladin. The Classic Paladin does not exist. Obsidian Paladin does exist, but it doesn't look anything like this. Anyway, so it's a cool armor. I'd probably put it on the tier list in the A tier, probably. And by the way, there is... Look how many Paladin armors there are. Holy shit. Adventure Quest loves Paladins. That is a lot. I did not know it was that many. Anywho, that's all for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Check out the last videos on my channel, and let me know if you want more of these. Leave a like on the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And I might make more of these posts on my Twitter in the future, so if you'd like to enter in for a future video, make sure you go follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.